afternoon, people. Friday afternoon here, running solo for the time being. Jesse has left us for the weekend for his shore house on the boat. So I'll give you a quick update of what we got going on thus far this afternoon. Got the paint booth in full effect, getting the compressor housing and the hot pipe done. Tensioner is all painted up. Like I mentioned, there was a little hole there that I drilled out and tapped. Got a set screw all Loctited in there before I put the ATS plug on there, so that's all done. What I think we're just gonna try and do this afternoon is just try and get as much stuff done on the first gen. This weekend's pretty wide open, so I'm hoping to really make some progress on the first gen, get as far as possible. So that's the plan. It's not much of a plan. The plan is to get everything done. Just plan everything. So I gotta try and stay focused. I'm gonna try and knock out the transmission stuff, the lines now. That's what I think we're gonna go with that way. Otherwise, what happens is I keep bouncing from little thing to little thing, and by the end of the day, nothing really. So we're just gonna focus on one thing for now. Get that going. Alrighty guys, excuse the lack of footage from underneath the truck, but it's so dang low now on the ground that pretty much you can't see jack crap anyway. So got the NPT to number 8 adapters in, got the hose ends pretty much on here. That's the way everything is gonna look. Gonna have a 45-degree angle on the front and a straight out the back, and then it's just going to kind of tuck up into the frame rail right here. So this is basically your converter out, and then this would be the inlet back into the transmission. So we're going to run this to the one side of the cooler. This one's going to go to the side of the cooler that has the temp sensor in it. So basically the hot oil coming out of the transmission is going to go into the one side of the cooler. It's going to get red right after the cooler. The reason I do it that way is that way I know that the cooler is working when the fan kicks on. I can see that it is actually getting cool. If I were to read it before it goes into the cooler, I really have no way of knowing that it's actually getting cool. So that's where we're at. We're just going to start making some lines, and then that's pretty much it. Going to fill the transmission fluid up. I still have to wire the fan, but I don't know if we're going to get to that or maybe save that for a later date. So we're just going to keep moving on here, guys. Alrighty, let's see what I can show you here. We have the lines completely done. Basically run up top here, come across over there, and then tie back in down here. The other thing I do want to do is actually add some hose clamps right around where the push lock is, just to give it just a little bit extra clamping force. Talked to a couple different people, and that's what they do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Nothing that's going to cut into it really, just a little bit of extra holding power. So trans lines, you can check that completely off the list. The wiring still not done, but at least we can fill the transmission up now. One thing I did forget to mention is, and I don't know if any of you guys have dealt with this, but the fibers in heat wrap, if you get that in your skin, the water does help cut down on that a little bit. Also, the water helps you get a nice tight wrap, but if you get that on your skin, oh boy, be prepared for a little bit of itchiness. And that is exactly why you have a flexible funnel to fit just like that. So you're supposed to check the transmission fluid when it is idling hot and in neutral. Seeing that it is neither in neutral nor hot nor running, we are just going to put in just a guesstimation until we can get it fired up, get it hot, and then we'll double check it. We're just trying to get close as of right now. I can hear Andrew coming. Woo, buddy, I don't know if you can hear that, but he's coming. Alright, so what we're bouncing to next is putting the spring back on here. When I put the front cover back on, I forgot this little bracket piece here for the return spring, I believe it is. So we're going to put that back on. Alrighty guys, so I think I finally got this figured out after a little while of searching, and of course I just read a thread, and of course now I just found the instructions, which is what it is. Anyway, so your crank position sensor is usually up here. Well, you can't see that, that helped. Usually up here on your factory damper, rides pretty much right there. On this fluid dampener, which is a larger diameter, they relocate it to right here. So I was having a little trouble flipping this upside down. And then also what they make you do, which actually not make you do, but I read a thread, you actually have to egg these holes out a little bit further, because what's happening now is when I go to put this on this hole, it's too close. So I need to egg those out to get that moved further away from the dampener, and then the wiring pretty much just runs right up along here. So that's where I'm at with that, just trying to take a little bit of time to figure that out, but that should be good. We're gonna enlarge those holes and get that back together. Alright, so next issue, seeing that this awesome engine damper is so awesome and big, the factory fan hub, or well, basically fan, the fan doesn't fit. So I wanted to run electric fans eventually on this thing. I was actually just going to throw this together just so we could get it back up and running, but it looks like that we are, as Johnny Send It would say, forced upgrades. So we're going to take this off. We're actually going to disconnect that from the nut there, and then we'll just basically have this base with this pulley so the belt can still ride on it, but basically eliminate the fan clutch and run electric fans. Alrighty guys, I have been debating for a couple minutes now whether or not the internet is ready to see this. And this falls under the category of when you don't have jack crap and you need to get something done, what are you going to do? You're going to use what you do have to get it done. And it's not going to look good. It's going to be sketch, but it's going to get done. So as far as removing the fan hub from the pulley, I don't even have a good vise mounted on a table. So here's what we got. We got a vise with a pipe wrench to hold the vise, holding on to the pulley with a belt on it, that way you don't mess up the pulley. And then the only legit thing we do have is the old 36mm that's supposed to be able to knock this off. Now I know there's air attachments and all that other fancy stuff that you can do this with, but like I said, old Greg A. Garage ain't rocking any of that. So, at the end of the day, it's still done. But, if you're ever in a pinch, there you go. Alright, got the pulley back on the assembly there. Got the bolts all, I usually use blue Loctite on those, so got those all tightened up. Got the first layer of paint going on the paint booth here. The turbo should be all pretty much ready to go. Seeing that this thing is so gosh dang low, had to make a custom shorty bucket, which literally is almost overfilling. So we did manage to start draining the oil out of it. It's been draining for quite some time now. Actually had to use a good old strap wrench to get the filter off. It was on there so tight, probably hadn't been changed in years. So I'm gonna fill that up, actually get some new oil in this girl. Actually had some old Royal Purple that's been laying around. So we got some oil there. Fresh Chummins filter, Fleet Guard, whatever you want to call it. That is almost a bad day, let me tell you. Shorty bucket needed to be a little bit taller. You guys can't really see on the screen there, but it's actually 9 o'clock. So I can't see jack crap, even though the camera makes it seem like it's about 6 o'clock. I could be wrong, but I thought these trucks, the older ones, took 11 quarts instead of the standard 12 quarts. But we'll check it. Who knows? I could be wrong, but not a big deal, people. Alrighty, so third problem of the day is I got that piece out, and like I mentioned before, the heat exchanger coolant line came off of that, so we want to block that. And basically, here's the pieces that I pretty much guessed at the size. This is 3/4 pipe. That pretty much looks like 1-inch pipe, slightly smaller barb than I got here. So we're gonna go run and exchange those. I don't know if we're gonna do that tonight or tomorrow. But we did manage to get the oil changed, all finished up, a couple other things buttoned up, cleaned up, threw all the tools in the shop, as per usual. Got the nice rattle can job on the housing and the intercooler pipe done, so that's gonna go tomorrow. Alrighty guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Trust me when I tell you that these are not my favorite videos, and I'm not complaining by any means. The days that I'm just trying to get work done are probably maybe a little less exciting for you guys, I understand that, but we gotta get this done so we can go on to bigger and better things. And when I say that, trust me, I have tons of plans. Hopefully, fingers crossed that the body work is actually done on the 05 this weekend. I've been in contact with the paint guy, so I'm really hoping that it's done. We can go pick it up, get that done. We still have to tie up the air dogs on this thing. I don't even know how that's possible, even though we've, you know, but whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I know some of you guys, I mean, majority of you guys don't care. You guys just like watching my face for some reason. But once the trucks are done, we are gonna have some fun. The videos are gonna get way different for the better, I can promise you that. So if you think they're great now, just wait, I can promise you that. Anyway, tomorrow should be another good day in the shop. Really hoping to bang out tons of stuff. Hopefully by tomorrow, one, maybe both of these trucks will actually be running. Maybe not done, but actually run. Maybe you guys will see some smoke. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't. Tomorrow. See ya.